together. I mean, traveling all over the world together, doing the college tour. And again, I think showing the American public the next level, but it was the quality of the people, I think, that speaks, or, you know, that I remember the most. You know, Lisa, Leslie, and I were just talking about, do you ever remember the points you scored, or, you know, any of that? And you don't. You remember the legacy, which is now seeing this current team going into the Olympics. And it was just a joy to be a part of starting something like this.
Yeah, I think we need to reemphasize, you know, what we did. We were 60-0, and those are counting just the games we were in uniform. We played a lot of games. We played under some really tough circumstances. There are times we traveled overseas for like 17 hours and went straight to the gym. It was like there was no room for excuses, and really give props to, I know Tara Vanderbilt, who's the coach that's, you know, was just remarkable, and she was very tough. She did it. It was her way or the highway, and it was, you know, it was the fact that we did it in such a way that it wasn't easy. Because we won by 25, we won by a lot. We had a lot of challenges. There was games we won by 30, and we still had a hard practice because we didn't meet our team goals. We were working for perfection.
Yes,
that was like, listen, it was like no room for error, and that was the mindset. So to me, what we did that year it was just so amazing. And I know this sounds cliche, or it sounds like it was just yesterday. Really, the memory, it seemed like it was just yesterday. I have my medal here, it's out there in my bag, but I wish I could show it. I love traveling with my medals and showing people, showing the youth, because I want them to know that even though maybe they weren't born, they was a part, that we were doing this for them. We were doing this for girls, 1,000 girls that we've had an ability to impact. And so really the Olympics, what we did, and I know the Olympics is the biggest platform ever, but we did something off the court that changed lives too.
All right, thank you. Our next question will come from Pepper Persley. Pepper, you will be followed by Ronald Wallace. Pepper, you're up.
Thank you. I just wanted to touch on what you just said, and I feel like I'm one of those girls that you've impacted, and it means so much to be able to talk with you both today. So 2 questions for you. First, what does it mean to you to see how much women's basketball has grown and evolved since 1996?
Well, it's grown tremendously, and we just got a chance to go in and talk to the current Olympic team, and just to see even like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi and the way that they've carried on this legacy, and they have improved with the times as well. And, you know, the game is definitely more, I would say, more athletic. I don't know that it's, you know, maybe more skilled, because I think, like Ruthie said, our group was really reaching for perfection, and Tara made sure we got there. But the game, you know, the game has changed and evolved, and it's exciting to see where it is now. And I think it's exciting to really look at where it can go. Because I think now with, you know, just owners like Mark Davis here in Las Vegas, I mean, the owners that really, really care, it makes a big difference. And I think there's enough of them now that you have the right people getting involved, a great commissioner. And I think the sky's the limit. And we're really, you know, we're living in a time where there's a real movement for women, people of color. And I think it's a prime opportunity to get behind the WNBA.
All right, thank you.
Oh, and then my last question for you both. What was the most fun aspect of winning gold in 1996?
What was the what?
Most fun.
When was it?
What was the most fun?
Oh, you know, I get that question a lot. What the most fun? It was so many memories. Like it was so many memories that was fun for me. Like even the travel, the hectic part of traveling, I embraced. I just indulged in every part of it. But I would say if I had to just pick out one thing, it was really after we won the gold medal in '96. I had a chance, and my mom had passed on at the time. I had a chance to take my medal off and take it and share it with my sister. And my dad had a picture of my mom, you know, there. So she's always wanted me to make the Olympic team. She always was like, well, is this the Olympic team? Every team I played on. So she wasn't here, you know, to share, but remember she was. So that to me stands out as something that really I'm thankful that I got a chance to share with my father, and I got a chance to actually dedicate my medal 96 to my sister.
Thank you so much for everything.
All right, thank you. And our next 2 questions will come in order from Ronald Wallace, and then, yes, Ronald Wallace, and then Takeshi Shibata. Ronald, you are up. Takeshi, on deck.
Good evening, ladies. is remarkable for what the foundation that you guys laid down in '96 and so on for these young ladies coming up in the league now. I remember watching you guys in '96. McDonald's had these scratch-offs. Every time y'all won a gold medal, you could win a Big Mac, and I was full of Big Macs that year. I can tell you that. But you guys are remarkable. But looking at today's game and some of the players you have, what are some of the things you guys could tell them going into their first Olympic Games or into their first All-Star game? What should they take from it, and what
Do Olympic team or
Yeah, either.
yeah. Just real quick, you jump on. To me, seize the moment because the years will go by so fast. Don't worry about what you can't change. Don't worry about that's all the fluff. Just focus on the task at hand. Embrace it. Show gratitude. The fact that you're a part of something that's wonderful. Because I know within a girls' team, there's so many different issues. There's so many different distractions. But seize the moment. What in this space that I can control? It's how hard I work and my attitude. All this stuff that you feel like you should get that. I would say just seize the moment because so many people will want to be in your spot. And I heard Tyra say a lot of time, hey, you know what? If you don't want to be here, if you got excuses and this is too hard for you, or we're not offering you enough, somebody else would love to be in your spot. They will be waiting by the phone. So embrace the moment, seize the moment, and leave their footprints.
And I think learn from the leaders. Like I think if you're one of the younger players, learn from Sue and Diana, learn from players that have been there. Because Ruthie and I were somewhere in the middle, I think, when we were on the team. But I always looked to Teresa Edwards and Katrina McLean and how they carried themselves professionally and learned a lot from them.
All right, thank you. Our next question, Takeshi Shibata. Takeshi, you will be followed by Charles Holman. Charles, you're on deck. Takeshi, you're up.
Thank you. So my name is Takeshi Shibata. I'm calling from Tokyo, Japan. Thank you for your time. And I'd like to ask you about the game in 1996, where the Team Japan took on your Team USA. I think it was a very competitive game. I think it was 108 to 93 or things like that. So what do you remember about those games? It was very competitive. It was a very fun game, I think.
Well, it was very competitive, and their style was quite a bit different from ours. I mean, they were the early Steph Curry's launching threes from like half court. So I think it was an adjustment for us in playing that style of play, and they don't stop moving. So like I just remember perpetual motion and shooting threes. Yeah, the Japanese team.
Oh yeah, I remember playing, and they all look alike. I got so confused with my player. Listen, they shoot far and they move fast. To me, that style of play was hard to defend than the style that we used to. So they can shoot. They just play. Man, yeah, they're tough. They're tough. You can't fall asleep on them.
All right, our next
Thank you so
question
much.
will come from Charles Holman. This will be the final question for Ruthie and Jennifer. Charles, you're up.
Yeah, thank you, ladies. You did something very novel and not done before, doing a 2-year tour as an Olympic team. Could that be done again, in your opinion?
I personally don't think so. I mean, players are at different places in their lives, have families. I think we were all at a different stage of our lives at that point. And I just think with the professional opportunities that are out there, it would be really hard to fund a team to not play in the WNBA or to, not play overseas, et cetera. So I think it'd be very challenging. I think USA Basketball has done a good job is developed a program where players know when they're a part of it so they can prepare on their own. And they've built chemistry over the years through training camps, competitions together. So I think it would be really challenging to ever do it again.